Well, Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt became parents of twins over the weekend. The boy and girl were born in a hospital in Nice, France.
Yesterday, Beyonce shocked her millions of fans with an Instagram post announcing that she is pregnant with twins.
Happy birthday, Max and Emmy. J-Lo's twins turn 8.
Before you became pregnant with the twins,
Yeah.
You had a miscarriage.
Yeah.
That must have been very painful for both of you.
It really was. It was really tough.
A woman known best for belting out songs about love and loss is now dealing with her own heartbreak.
We were saddened to hear that you had a miscarriage.
We did a miscarriage. We tried 4 times to have a child.
She appeared on Oprah discussing her struggle to become pregnant with a second child at age 41.
Celine's gone through 5 IVF treatments in the past 6 months.
We did 6 inseminations, and the 3rd one was the one that worked.
They now have 4-year-old twins, but it was a rough road.
But Mengele didn't just let new arrivals live so they could work in the labor camps. He wanted them for medical research. His SS file reveals him as a specialist in genetics and eugenics. At Auschwitz, Mengele was particularly fascinated by identical twins. Sharing the same genetic blueprint, twins allowed him a unique opportunity to experiment on one and compare the results with the other. Now Mengele was presented with as many twins as he wanted.
These are all identical twins used for medical experiment. Hundreds of twins from all over Europe were brought to this camp. They were numbered, but their origin and even their names are unknown.
In all, Mengele murdered 3,000 twins. Some after chemicals were injected directly into their eyeballs. His aim? To turn the color of eyes from inferior brown to Aryan blue.
There's a myth about Nazis, and that is that there's these horrible people who committed these terrible crimes, and then after 1945 simply disappeared. Well, that simply isn't true.
It was U.S. policy to hire whomever could provide useful information, regardless of whether they were a war criminal or not.
I'm Dr. Randy Morris, the medical director at IVF1. Ask anybody about what can happen during infertility treatments and you will commonly get this answer: twins. It's true.
Somebody came up and said he's ready for the session, and we went on there, and he said you would need 3 people. You would need 3 people, but he wanted 5 people that volunteer to be the channel for the spirit. Okay, so he was 3 of them were chosen there, and the others went back and sat down. And the man shook his head like, a little bit like this. His eyes went glazed, and he stayed at it for a half hour. And the spirit spoke to him. He said, I'm a spirit counselor. And what would you like to know? And he had a clipboard, the historian, and asked him some questions.
This historian was from Paris.
Yeah.
And he was wanting information.
Some detailed information
about Napoleon
Bonaparte and one of his generals.
And so he asked the questions of one of these human beings that was channeling.
Oh yeah, the voice changed and everything. The voice changed of the person completely.
Okay. And it identified itself as a spirit guide.
Oh, yeah. Spirit counselor, yeah.
Okay, a spirit counselor. And then proceeded to tell him all the events that he was asking.
Yes. Now, the man said, I would like to have you tell me to the spirit to give me part of the speech that was given by Camillien Hood on the steps of the Montreal City Hall on a certain date. There are different versions of what has taken place, and you, Lord, would know the exact one.
Now, the mayor of Montreal was still alive.
Was still alive.
And this historian is asking what was actually said at a speech.
Yeah.
Okay.
The spirit counselor said, I'm sorry, I can't help you. All of my activities and my people have taken place in Europe. However, after my departure, our departure, other spirits will come and help you. And sure enough, the guy vibrated a little bit, and he's back, and he said, boy, how long? He said, 20 minutes, you've been used as a channel. So they, again, the spirit entered into him, and the spirit said he was a spirit counselor that could give him the information that he was looking for. So, again, it was given verbally, and it was the voice of Camélia Hood.
Now, how did you know that it was the voice?
Well, because of the fact, you see, I was a youngster in those days, just about ready to go into the army. And Camélia, we used to listen to the radio. We had no television in those days, so it was only radio, and read newspaper. And all the speeches of Camélia made, and all of it was on the radio all the time. And in those days, they had no tape recorders, as we have now. So Camélia would have to go to the Canadian Broadcasting Studio, where they made a record, a real phonograph record. And then they played it over and over, for the rest of the day.
So you listened to those as a teenager before you went into the army, so you knew his voice.
So I knew his voice really good. So I said to George, he was sitting next to me, he said, isn't it amazing? He said, if you think that's amazing, wait, he says, until the spirits impersonate one of the departed people that you know, personally, like an uncle or a brother or a sister or something like that. He says, that is unique. But that's the way it was. You are able to reproduce a voice, man, and just to perfection. The spirits are exceedingly proud of this.